Hello students, we're going to see chapter 5 arithmetic progression and exercise 5.1. The first problem is, in which of the following situations does the list of numbers involved make an arithmetic progression and why? So let's see subdivision 1. The taxi fare after each kilometer when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer and rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. So let's take this problem. So fare for 1 kilometer, that's the first kilometer, equals 15. Fare for 2 kilometers will be 15 plus 8 equals 23. Fare for 3 kilometers will be 15 plus 8 plus 8, that's equal to 31. And fare for 4 kilometers will be 15 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, that's 39. So if you write the sequence of these numbers, this is 15, 23, 31, 39. Now if you calculate the difference between each of the terms, like 23 minus 15 is 8, and 31 minus 23 is 8, and 39 minus 31 is 8. So difference equals is 8. Therefore this is an AP. So yes, it is an AP. Now let's move on to subdivision 2. The amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. Now we can start like this. Let the amount of air in the cylinder at the beginning, so equals x units. Now therefore amount of air left after first removal. So what is that? X minus 1/4 of x. So how do we get this? 1/4 of x removed from the original quantity. So that will be 3/4 of x. Now moving on, this will be amount of air left after second removal. What will be this? 3/4 of x minus 1/4 of 3/4 of x, 9 by 16 of x. Now moving on, amount of air left after third removal equals, so 9 by 16 of x minus 1/4 of 9 by 16. So what is this? 27 over 64 of x. Now we'll form the sequence. This will be x, 3/4 of x, 9 by 16 of x, 27 by 64 of x. Now let's see the difference. Now difference between these two will be negative 1/4 of x. And what about this one? This will be negative 3 by 16 of x, and the third one will be minus 9 by 64 of x. Since the difference between successive terms is not equal or is not the same, it is not an AP. As you can see, the difference is varying, and therefore this is not an AP. Now let's move on to the third subdivision. The cost of digging a well after every meter of digging, when it costs rupees 150 for the first meter and rises by rupees 50 for each subsequent meter. So we can start like this. So cost of digging 1 meter equals 150 for the first 1 meter. Now cost of digging 2 meters will be 150 plus 50, that's equal to 200. Cost of digging 3 meters will be 200, or we can write like this. It's actually 150 plus 50 plus 50, which is equal to 250. So we can add one more term. Cost of digging 4 meters will be 150 plus 50 plus 50 plus another 50, which is equal to 300 rupees. Now let's form the sequence. The sequence will be 150, 200, 250, 300, and so on. So the difference is very clear between 200 and 150. This is 50, and for 250 and 200, the difference is again 50, and for 300 to 250, again the difference is 50. So the difference is the same, so we can write like this: since the difference between successive terms are same, it is an AP. So this is an AP because the difference between successive terms, it's the same value. Let's move on to subdivision 4. The amount of money in the account every year when rupees 10,000 is deposited at compound interest at 8% per annum. So starting amount equals 10,000. Amount after 1 year is given by the formula A equals P into 1 plus R over 100 power n, where R is the rate of interest, n is number of years, and P is the principal. And so if you apply this formula, it will be 10,000 into 1 plus 8 over 100 power 1. So this is 10800, 10,800. So amount after 2 years will be 10,000 into 1 plus 8 over 100 power 2, and if you calculate this, it comes to 11,664. So it's enough if you take 3 terms, because clearly this is not going to be an AP because interest is getting compounded. So let's see how the sequence is coming. So the sequence is 10,000, 10,800, 11,664. Now we'll see the difference. This is 800 and this will be 864. Clearly the difference is not the same. Therefore we can conclude, since the difference between successive terms are not the same, this is not an AP.